live on BYU TV. Quick start for Utah. They led 10-5 behind the serving of Kenzie Kerber. But the Illini have fought back. And we are in for what we expected. A very, very hard-fought, close first set.
Well, and already look at the blocking numbers that both these teams have put up. Just incredible defensive effort.
Kerber, a near impossible shot. And that falls into the Utah side of the net. Point to Illinois, tied at 15.
Well, it's especially hard since she's left-handed. Had she been right-handed, it could have crossed her body. She might have been able to keep it in, but when you're a lefty, it's already, you got to get on it quick. That was way too far outside.
Taylor Cooper to serve. Torres back set Kerber. Oh, what an effort by Cooper. At the Illini, not quite in the right place and right mind frame in that moment. And the point goes to Utah. Gotta love the effort from Cooper, though.
Right, good defense, but offensively, both these teams hitting so far below 200, they really haven't found a rhythm yet. And you could chalk that up to the incredible defensive pressure and blocking, or just kind of some nerves, because here it is December. You want to be firing away.
How about that shot from Kerber way off the net? 17-15 Utah. Kenzie Kerber with her 4th kill of the match. Utah, as you mentioned, hitting low, Amy, at 136. Illinois, not much better, 167.
Right, both these teams kind of want to tighten up that offense, get those passes up to the net, and really run their system.
Cross court, Quaid. The dig by Yet. Oblad in the middle. Great offense from Utah.
And a beautiful offensive effort takes. Whatever happens, we're going to roll with it and fight through it. And so when they got this bid, it was like, okay, we're playing Illinois in the first round. All right, whatever it takes, they're going to try to power through. They had a great practice. They came out of the Pac-12 season just breathing a sigh of relief, and they're ready to get after it in the NCAAs.
And what do you know? Kenzie Kerber back on the service line. She dials up an ace. And then another tough serve, which results in an overpass kill. Utah really extending their pressure when Kerber is on the line, 20-15.
Yeah, incredible job coming out of that timeout.
Kenzie Kerber, 4 kills. And while Utah's hitting only 208, she's 429, 4 kills on 7 total swings, and you just saw the ace.
Well, and she's a player that really kind of hit her stride this season in conference. Has been so good all the way around. You see her making an impact. She became a primary passer this season, worked a lot on her passing, and was very solid all year. Obviously, her serve is very, very good as well.
While we have a moment, we remind you of the latest AVCA coaches poll. Of course, the national seedings are what matter most right now, but look at BYU number 13, Utah number 17. They only seed the top 16 teams. And if this were the NCAA men's basketball tournament and you had 4 separate regions of 16 seeds, what we're watching right now is essentially a 5 seed in Utah versus a 12 seed in Illinois, and BYU would be a 4 seed against 13 seed New Mexico State. So yeah, the 4-5 matchup, you think about that, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, in the first round and second round. I think what's great is that as fans, and we get a good look at them, you get to see the best volleyball I think that the first and second rounds have to offer right here. It's just amazing the quality of players.
Timeout over. Utah back up 5. This matches their set high lead at 10-5, now 20-15, closing in on an opening set victory. Kenzie Kerber has been the star of the first set for Utah. Quaid. That ball was dug by Yet. In the back line, Drews with the roll shots. Cooper there. Quaid set once again off the block. Opportunity for the Utes. Oh, and Oblad not on the same page as Torres.
That's so strange to see that happen in December. Usually that's, you know, August, you're kind of getting things together. Setter, middle. Oblad up too fast, expecting maybe a quicker set, but a missed opportunity. It's still with a 4-point lead if they can come back with a quick side out.
Well, that works. As a quick side out, a service error and a killer. With Quaid going into the net, the returning All-American, 21-16. Utah with a 5-point advantage, and Danny Drews back to serve with the left hand. Ball just died, kept up. And the Illini found their initial answer offensively from Fleming.
And you can see how Fleming just has so much power. Look at this swing. A lot of power, is able to get on that ball quick. She's got a quick arm swing, and she can really get the ball into the seam even when it's closing, when the block's coming in.
Fleming now with 2 kills and a block, and there is a huge ace for Illinois. I mean, by millimeters, that ball crawling over the tape.
Fortunate fall for Illinois, because right now is when they have got to make a run. They have got to get themselves back in contention before Utah gets too close to the end.
On the slide, Oblad works it off the Illini block, and Utah sides out. 22-18 Utes.
Oblad is up fast. You could see her in the air waiting for that set. She was just able to tool it out of bounds, but she's working hard. She is up quick.
Windish, service specialist. To Cooper. Set from the back line is Quaid. No issues for Utah, but given right back to the Illini. Oh, and a crafty move. Nice body language sell there from Diana Brown for the kill as she gets the dump for a point.
Diana Brown, a redshirt freshman. She played behind Jordan Poulter last year, one of the top setters in the country, now on the national team. She learned a lot and kind of stepped in and took control of the team herself. Has done an excellent job this season setting this team.
Kerber receiving. Whoa, what a swing from Weatherington. Unloads on that ball.
Okay, here is something that was amazing when I heard it. Beth Lanier, who's been coaching at Utah for 30 years, has coached amazing players, said Zoe Weatherington hits the hardest ball of anyone she has ever coached.
Wow.
And then that kind of came true earlier in the season when 2 different players on the floor for Utah got concussions because of Weatherington in practice. So anytime she's around and jumping, I think you just dive off the court, get out of the vicinity. She's got a cannon.
We just witnessed a testament of that moments ago. Illinois hanging in, down 23-20. Kellyanne Welsh, senior, serves Kerber. Torres go to Weatherington, and this time it's right into the heart of that Illini block. Kennedy Collins and Jacqueline Quaid.
Quaid, the 6'2" senior, terrific block. You can see her dropping those arms, pointed towards left, middle back to not get used. Textbook form.
Timeout Utah as Illinois starts to put on some pressure here late in the first set. And this is an Illinois team, Amy, that has been battle tested in the Big Ten. At one point they had a road trip of 3 games in a row against top 7 teams.
Right.
They lost all of those
7.
matches, but 2 of those went 5 sets, the other 4. And so it's not like they haven't been competitive against the best teams.
Yeah, and I think that's where you look at their record, and it's deceiving, because when you play in the Big Ten, you are playing top 5 teams every single night. So it's not that they're not a good team, they're a fantastic team. It's just they're in a conference where it is brutal night in and night out.
Kenzie Kerber, junior outside hitter for Utah, has been the answer for the Utes, particularly when she's on the service line, but she's also hitting a cool 400 and change.
Amazing for a pin hitter to be hitting that high, because as you can see from those different swings, you're not only getting set in perfect opportunities, you have balls that are off out of system that you've got to keep in, and she's finding a way to score in those situations.
Crunch time, end of the first set. Utah trying to close it out. They led 20-15, but Illinois fighting back. They've cut the Utah lead down to 2 at 23-21. Welsh will serve again for the Illini.
And that's all you want as a team. Just keep it competitive, get to 20 where you have a chance to fight for the win.
Illinois hitting 233, Utah 214. The Illini's block is what's really changed things for them here in the first set. Drews roll shot. Now can Illinois pay it off? And it's hit long. Point Utah, set point after Cooney goes deep and can't find the line. Megan Yett to serve for the opening set. Reaching up for that, Kennedy Collins. And the freshman scores to force at least one more point in the opening set.
Kennedy Collins with her first set, first kill on the night at such a critical time.
Collins played opposite at the beginning of the year. Again, this has just been the season of shuffling for the Illini, and there's an ace delivered 24-23. Morgan O'Brien. Wouldn't you know it, the most consistent passer on the team delivers the ace. 24-23. Another tough serve. Drews trying to finish it off, and she does. What a first set between Utah and Illinois. The Utes win 25-23. We'll change sides of the floor.
Yeah, incredible effort. You can see a very poor pass that just gets thrown outside to Danny Drews, but she keeps it high and is able to attack and get the much.
Team in out of the Big Ten. But man, do they believe that they can pull off an upset here in Provo.
Well, and they're a team that was ranked pretty much all season long. They just recently dropped out of the top 25 after struggling to finish, but they know how to play in big matches, and this first one against Utah clearly shows two teams that are physical, that have been, like you said, just kind of battle tested, playing in the Big Ten and the Pac-12 every night. You have to be ready to go.
Kennedy Collins with her second kill. The freshman gives Illinois an early 1-0 lead in set number 2. Utah taking the first set 25-23. Danny Drews off high hands and down for another kill.
Another beautiful swing from Drews. We saw some blocks earlier in the first set, so what does she do? She decides to use those high hands and just blast it off the top to expand the court.
6 kills, that's a match high for Danny Drews. Bree Dorman serves Quaid. And nice shot by Megan Cooney. Off speed stuff there. And that finds a nice spot on the floor for a kill.
Well, it was obvious that Cooney, it almost looked like she decided at the very last second that she was going to tip, which is great because then the defense was just as surprised as maybe she was.
Sometimes you jump and you're not really sure what you're going to do, and it works out. Now we're sure that the Illini block has been really good all match, and they have another, that time denying Oblad in the middle.
You see how big these players are. Illinois, 6'4", Fleming in the middle. You see that she's been blocking in the middle. She hits a lot of balls from the right side as well. They really want to get her offensively involved.
What a dig. Keep that ball up, and then it's hit long by Quaid, and Utah's bailed out.
To your point, Diana Brown, an amazing play to save that ball. Tremendous effort to pop it up, and then just missing out of bounds.
3-2 Illinois, early set 2. Kerber out of the middle, and that's a beautiful offensive set. Diana Brown connecting with Ashlyn Fleming.
Fleming up quick, that ball not super high, but Fleming able to just attack corner to corner.
Taylor Cooper serving with a 4-2 lead. Torres to Drews. What a stab dig by O'Brien. Oh, and a great shot by Quaid with just a silly sharp angle.
We had about 25 minutes to wait for that set to drop, and everybody was able to line up. Quaid with a terrific angle.
5-2 Illinois, trying to even this thing up at 1 set apiece. Cooper to Kerber. Torres on the slide to Oblad. Kept alive. Resilient defense from Utah, but an opportunity for the Illini, and they pay it off. I'll see your slide. Fleming scores 6-2.
I think what Illinois has done especially well in this first set is kept the pressure on. Utah has been on the defensive side.
A better opening round matchup, in my opinion, than this.
I agree. I agree. This is not your first round.
Illinois out quickly here in set number 2, up 6-2. Utah won the first set 25-23, and there is a service error out of the timeout.
But I guess the bonus for these teams, whoever comes out on top, is that you're ready. You know, you don't have to kind of warm up into the tournament. You are ready to go. You are playing at your highest level, and you know what it takes.
Drews. O'Brien to Quaid inside of Dorman and Drews. And Quaid's starting to find a rhythm.
You can see how important Quaid is to this team. She gets set in a perfect pass situation. She gets set out of system. They haven't used her much out of the back row, which is what we saw, you know, last year a lot more. This year, not so much.
4 kills, a dig and a block for Quaid, and there is an ace for Illinois. 8-3 Illini in set 2.
And what a serve from Quaid. You see the bottom just drop out right as it crossed the net.
Utah had a 5-point lead in the first set. They held on. Now Illinois with a 5-point lead in set 2. Quaid this time off the tape into the net. That is the 6th service error of the match for Illinois.
Well, and it's clear that Illinois is trying to put pressure on Utah, but a lot of those misses are not good, aggressive misses. You know, we've seen some that haven't even hit the net, so it almost looks more like nerves a little bit.
Windish to serve for Utah. O'Brien, and that's through the block from Beth Prince. Senior out of Avon, Indiana. 6'3" outside, scores the kill to make it 9-4.
I think Illinois doing a great job, but really attacking those seams as they go end line or sideline to sideline. They're opening up a lot of holes in the block and they're attacking them.
Joust at the net on the overpass. And set over by O'Brien. Drews there. Back line from Kerber, and she goes right off the shoulder of Fleming. What a strike from Kerber.
Utah really utilizing that back row a lot more. The back row set to Kerber, and you had the pipe out of the middle to Drews. And so in this particular situation, Utah has a lot of offensive options.
Off the net, Drews with the dig. Kerber, and that's into the pin. 10-5 Illinois.
My mistake, Kerber was front row. She just was way off on that first one.
I'll allow it, Amy.
Thank you. I'll make many more errors, I'm sure. I'm hitting 200.
Oh, I'm down about 20 to you, so. 10-5. There is a Bick from Danny Drews through the Illinois block, and it's 10-6.
That quick set to the back row. Drews, sometimes the first priority. A lot of times your back row attack, especially in the women's game, kind of becomes an out-of-system afterthought. But for Utah, they've utilized it so much with Drews.
Block from Kerber is there. They reload. Does Illinois, and can't get it done. Oh, how does that ball stay up? Morgan O'Brien keeping it alive. And now Phoebe Grace scores. Utah with some momentum now, trailing 10-7.
Great defense, good effort again, but anytime you give a team a free ball, it's gonna come right back at you pretty quick. Grace finishing it off for Utah as they continue to come back in this set.
Dig by Dorman off the block. Drews sends it back over. Big swing and a kill. Beth Prince, who has been very efficient. Illinois hasn't gone to her a ton in this match, but 4 kills on 9 swings.
I think in the second set, she really started to get going. We didn't see much of her in the first set, but so far in the second, she has been very active.
Now, of note, Bree Dorman, with her last dig for Utah, is #1 in program history with digs. Incredible effort. And it goes without saying that she is invaluable to this team. 11-7 Illinois. Utah does lead 1-0. Kerber really using those high hands nicely.
We can see the offense just really starting to get going for Utah as they've mounted a comeback here. It's all been that offensive energy, and I think you can see them just gaining confidence with each serve.
Dorman just misses that back line. The Illini back line gave it a real good look, and it goes long for the service area.
Exactly, that's what you want to see. A lot of times new players will just kind of look over their shoulder. They're following it to the line, watching it every step of the way, but even there I feel like it was a little too close. They got lucky.
Torres goes to Kerber. Kenzie Kerber, the junior from Chino Hills, California.
Kerber's able to get on that ball so fast. That's the benefit of having that left-handed hitter. And so when Fleming a little slow to close, Kerber takes advantage and gets that cross court.
Kerber tied with her teammate Danny Drews for a match-high 7 kills. She's hitting .417. And there is just enough space for Quaid to work it through the block of Oblad and Torres.
Torres in good position, but not quite pressing as much as she needs to, and that ball just sneaks in right down her front.
Illinois, the last few minutes, hovering with that 3 or 4 point lead. Right now it's at 4, 13-9. Drews at the soft block. O'Brien is there. Quaid into the Utah block. This time Oblad and Torres leave no room.
And Oblad again working so hard to close on that block. Watch her really throw her hands into the seam, still sealing it off and taking away that cross court.
Drews trying to get Utah within 3. That ball is live. It was a kick save by Kerber and a beauty. But it was almost, it looked like it caught her teammates by surprise that ball was up.
Exactly. You always want to turn to whoever's passing the ball, wherever the dig is, so that you can react. A lot of times, especially net players, will just give up.
14-10 Illinois. Quaid serves to Drews. Torres, cross-court set, Weatherington. And that one just mistimed and mishit.
I think Weatherington wanted to hammer that ball and just missed it.
Sounds like you assessing the first tee box of my golf game.
Wanted to hammer it. Whiff.
Quaid again to Drews. Oblad. And now Illinois inching towards a stranglehold of a lead here in set 1 at 16-10.
Utah made a bit of a run there to try to come back, but Illinois just kept that pressure on, kept siding out, and all they have to do to continue that lead is just to keep siding out pressure.
Quaid still serving, now up 6. Tip shot, down low for a dig goes Cooper. Ball is played back over to the Utes on the slide. Oblad. Berkeley Oblad with a really important point for Utah there.
That was a very big side out. Good defense for Illinois, barely getting that ball over, and Torres doing a nice job just working that entire court. You see the defense for Illinois having to move all over the place and can't quite get it together for Oblad.
Windish. And that is the 4th service error of the match for Utah. Comes at a really difficult time, 17-11.
A rough time. This is right. Utah, like you said, has got to make a run right now. As Illinois just keeps pushing it closer and closer, they don't have much time.
Fleming serving with a 6-point lead for Illinois as they look to even this up at 1 set apiece. Well, that was a little bit better from Weatherington.
Weatherington's a player that gets better and better as the match progresses. She is playing her best volleyball towards the end of the match. She just kind of slow to get started and then ramps up, and then hit that 4th set, she's unstoppable.
The block from Kerber was there, but out of bounds, so it'll be a point for Illinois, 18-12.
Here's what Illinois has done so well in this second set is that despite what Utah puts together, they have been side out tough. That first ball kill for them, just out of serve receive, has been so solid.
O'Brien serves Drews. Kerber. Two outstanding left-handed hitters. You just don't see it very often.
And especially on the left side. There are two in the front row right now, and that affects how you line up in the blocking lanes defensively, because everything about volleyball is off the shoulder of the hitter. And if you never see a left-handed hitter, it messes everything up with how you line up.
Megan Cooney with an error into her own side of the net, and perhaps this is the run that Utah will make to keep things close here in set two. It's 18-14 back-to-back points for Utah, yet will serve again.
Well, this is certainly a strong rotation.
And there is a block. Grace and Drews there, 3-0 run for Utah.
If Utah wants to make a run, this is it. They've got Kerber, they've got Drews, and Megan Yett on the service line. Terrific block, getting in there, Phoebe Grace.
Timeout, Illinois. Yet to serve again to Quaid. And Illinois out of the timeout. No, they're going to get Illinois with an infraction at the net. They said that they under the net across the line, and now it's a 4-0 run for Utah. Whoa.
What timing. That play right there, remember it.
And from Beth Prince, who's been so good in set two. That ball is alive. What an effort from the Utes. And it's hit wide right. It is rewarded as Cooney cannot find an open area in the floor. 18-17, 5-0 run Utah.
And before this run, we were thinking that maybe too little too late for Utah, but terrific job from Megan Yett.
And an overpass ties this at 18. Incredible turnaround, a 6-0 run. Utah can take the lead.
It's a very interesting call against Illinois. Looked like it was maybe a back row attack fault coming out of there, but I was more interested in the contested set up at the net.
And a big swing to end that 6-0 run from Utah. Megan Cooney, junior out of Topeka, Kansas, gives Illinois the lead back at 19-18.
Illinois right now has 4 players with 5 kills. They're really just getting so many different players involved in the offense.
Caroline Welsh serves Yet. Torres back to Kerber, and that's long. And Illini fans in Provo breathe a sigh of relief. That's
a missed opportunity, just about 3 inches long from Kerber. Big time point for Illinois.
20-18. Welsh and the Illini rather. Danny Drews. She got up for that, but hits it wide left, and now a timeout for Utah as the Illini respond and lead 21-18.
And 2 just by inches unforced errors, but that gives Illinois another very comfortable lead at 3 points. They came out of that timeout and did what they needed to do.
There's something to be said about climbing all the way over the hill. Can't tell you how many times, doesn't matter the sport, volleyball, football, basketball, baseball, where a team will rally all the way back and tie, but they just can't climb one more step. It's so tough to rally and then take the lead.
It's exhausting. Yeah, it's emotionally exhausting to kind of fight your way back in. But I think for Utah, they are a team that this whole season, they've been playing through night after night of just battles. I've never seen a team that has more 5-set matches than these Utah Utes. They had a really tough Pac-12. So they're a team that regardless of what the score says, they continue to fight, and their goal is to outfight people.
They're locked in a battle right now, that is for sure. 1-0 Utah. They won the opening frame 25-23. Illinois leading set 2, 21-18. If you're just joining us, the Illini led 18-12. Then Utah went on a 6-0 run to tie it at 18. All before Illinois scored a side out and then took advantage of 2 hitting errors from the Utes to again lead by 3. Welsh to serve once again out of the timeout for Illinois. To Yet. Torres will set Kerber. Kenzie Kerber with a clean kill.
You drop a play in the side out, in the timeout, and then execute. Megan Yet, so solid as that defensive player. She's so good, so calm and smooth. Really fun to watch.
Dorman to Quaid. And O'Brien sets Cooney for the kill. Illinois within 3 points of evening this match at 1 set apiece.
And Illinois again, just that first ball kill right out of the side out.
O'Brien serving Yet. Drews. Danny Drews. Left-handed hammer.
Well, and you can see just how hard it is to defend against that kind of left-handed swing. Where's the defense? Nowhere, right? It's really tough to read.
Diana Brown sets Quaid. Yet from the 3-meter line. Bump set from Welsh to Quaid. And the Illini piece enough together to make it 23-20.
That was a very interesting play, and you look at Coach Lanier, she may be challenging this to see if it...
End of the second set. You want to be thorough, and that clearly is what's happening. And it is a point to Illinois. Beth Lanier, in her 30th season, her team leading 1-0, but in a hole here late in the second set, down 23-20. Taylor Cooper. And those are oftentimes the things that happen after a long break. You're out of the flow, service error.
Right, so Utah should instead just tip their hat to their coach, who gets all the credit for that one.
7th service error of the match for Illinois. They still lead by 2. Drews, ace! It just feels like a mirror image of the set that we watched to open things up, only it's been Illinois leading for the majority of the second set, whereas it was Utah big and Illinois fighting back to make it interesting late.
Wow, 2 quick points out of that challenge play. Incredible effort for Utah to come back. They needed each one of those.
Danny Drews with the service ace. Utah with 4 as a team in the match thus far. The Illini have responded with 3. Again, great defense, not a ton of offense in either of these first 2 sets. Illinois hitting 241 in set 2, Utah 200. And the sides are 230 and 218 respectively for the match. Let's take a look now at Ashlyn Fleming for Illinois, the senior middle blocker with her 5 kills, and she's been the pattern of efficiency, Amy, hitting 375. She's had 2 big blocks, and that Illini block has given Utah fits.
Right, she's the emotional leader on this team for Illinois. She was injured early in the season, getting her back into that middle blocker position. She's very, very smart. She knows how to move along the net. She knows where to find holes in the block, and she comes up big at big times. And this is when Illinois needs her to step up, this point right here.
Danny Drews serving to try and tie this second set up at 23. Utes trailed 18-12. It's now 23-22. Here's Dorman off of the Quaid swing. Weatherington. Quaid again to Dorman, another dig. Weatherington pushing it down the line, and we're tied at 23. And now we see if Utah can climb all the way over. They've climbed back into this twice, down 6, down 3 late. Here we are, 23 even. Drews. Quaid. The Utah block is there. Torres and Oblad.
Look at that emotion and the fight. Incredible move from Oblad just to get up and throw her arms into that seam. Terrific block.
Drews to serve for the second set. Quaid. And we're going to play extra points here. Tied at 24. Oh my goodness. What a change of momentum here.
Well, and who else does Illinois want on the line? Quaid has been fantastic behind the service line.
Jacqueline Quaid. Goes to Drews, Torres, Weatherington. That pancake is up and set over by Diana Brown. In the back line, Drews covers the block off her own swing. Weatherington through the soft block. Diana Brown. Oh, big swing and a response from Fleming. Outstanding volleyball right now.
Fleming's a player that had injured her leg, and so now instead of going off 1 foot, she goes off 2 when she gets behind the setter. Doesn't matter, she's just as deadly.
Illinois with their first set point of the match, 25-24, trying to even things up. Quaid to Kerber. Torres has Drews, and Illinois has tied it up. 1 set apiece on the error by Drews.
What an emotional roller coaster. Both these teams fighting so hard. Clearly, this is the NCAA tournament.
20.
They stay consistent. Is there going to be a letdown? Is there going to be a run of points like we saw earlier? Or can they continue to execute at a high level consistently?
And it was Utah that got off to the quick start, had a big lead in set 1, they won. And Illinois had the big 6-point lead in set 2, and they held on. It'll be a quick start here. Kerber off the block. And Illinois scores first. Kennedy Collins on the set from Diana Brown.
Illinois really trying to get every single player involved. They did a nice job distributing, getting 4 or 5 players, but Brown is one that they haven't used, and now getting her the ball. Or Diana Brown getting the ball to the middles.
Collins there to help out with the block. Again, the block there, and such a tough play. Megan Cooney did all she could do. You get a little bit turned around, that ball just drops down, and a point goes to Utah, 1-1 in set 3. Kerber serves Quaid. That ball up? No. It does hit the floor. And Torres pleading with the up official that she got underneath that ball, but I thought I heard it hit the court.
I was going to say, sometimes the sound just kind of lets you know whether it's up or not. And as you dive, you always scream up, regardless. That's like the process of the pancake dive. You just say up.
Got to sell it. Drews off the Illini block, tools it nicely, and it's 2-2. Danny Drews now with 9 kills. Dorman. Tough received by Welsh, but she does it. Quaid pushes that ball down the line. Kerber over. Oh, and it just doesn't sneak over for Drews.
Yikes, Kenzie Kerber really attacked that ball on the second set. Couldn't quite get it hittable for Drews. You see the energy that Kerber has. Sometimes it's dial it down a bit. Just pop that ball up.
3-2 Illinois, 1 set apiece. Winner advancing to the second round. Taylor Cooper. Torres, quick set in the middle to Oblad.
You can see how smart Oblad is. Really, just with one blocker, she can go either side, just attack the gaps, wait. Those are two very big blockers, 6'4" against 6'4" in Fleming.
Kerber serving, tied at 3. Ashlyn Fleming once again. Her 7th kill. You talk about the distribution of the ball on the Illini side. Quaid with 7 kills. Fleming with 7 kills. Cooney with 7 kills. Prince with 5. So many weapons.
Right, you don't want to be a middle blocker against Illinois, because sometimes you want to cheat, but with them, you've got to stay and see where the set goes.
Drews. She'll test that block for Illinois and win 4-4.
Well, it's clear that nobody's tired on the floor because the intensity of swings have just gone to another level as Drews hits with a lot of power. Fleming was hammering the ball.
Drews into double figures with 10 kills. Fleming, advantage Utah block. Weatherington and Oblad.
Well, and there's that tricky play. That initial set to Fleming was all the way out. This one you could see it dying just a bit inside, and Weatherington in perfect position to block that ball.
From the back, Quaid hangs and delivers a kill.
And that is a quick pick. That is the definition. She is in the air. There is no chance that a block can get there if they're not already lined up.
Fleming to serve, tied at 5 in set 3. 1 set apiece. Drews. And she scores from the back. Danny Drews with a match-high 11th kill.
And Utah runs that a little bit slower, allowing Drews really to hit to either corner. She does a nice job moving it around and looking at the defense.
Windish to Cooper. The Illini block this time answers back after Weatherington denied Illinois just a few moments ago.
I think Joy Weatherington really hits the ball well, but on that particular set with it dying inside, she's got to make an adjustment and know she doesn't have the huge hard swing. And so Torres has got to get the ball high enough for Weatherington to really use, and Weatherington's got to recognize when she doesn't really have that shot.
Well, clearly Weatherington liked what she saw there and unloads on the ball. 7-6 Utah.
That set was higher. There was a lot that Weatherington could do. She really reaches very, very high, has huge hands that can attack the ball at all areas on the floor.
That ball blocked, came all the way across the floor and just about into the waiting hands of Amy Gant.
Right. Waiting for that.
You got to be ready.
I know.
7-7 in set 3. Welsh will serve for Illinois. That is long from Grace. Phoebe Grace with the error, giving Illinois an 8. No, correction. That is a point for Phoebe Grace and a side out to Utah.
Both teams trading points back and forth. We haven't seen a run yet.
And did you just set off the first run? Because it's 9-7 Utah, back-to-back points for the Utes.
Well, if we remember, it was this rotation right here with Megan Yett serving and Danny Drews and Kenzie Kerber in the front row that Utah was able to score all those points in the second set, nearly coming back.
Quaid squelches, at least for the moment, any thought of a Utah run, makes it 9-8.
Well, and obviously getting the point is what Illinois wanted, but you could see everybody clapping on the sideline because, more importantly, they wanted Utah out of that rotation.
Off the tape for O'Brien. And Kerber, incredulous expression. After that is ruled long, and we're tied at 9. Morgan O'Brien. Go right back to Kerber. Off the soft block. Quaid gets the better of Dorman, and it's a 3-0 Illinois run. The Illini up 10-9.
And credit again the Illinois block, although we haven't seen a ton of stuffs, what they're doing is slowing down the swings from Utah, turning them into free balls that they can transition and get kills. It's just as effective as a stuff block.
O'Brien trying to dial up a 4th straight point, kept off the net nicely by Torres, but still an opportunity for Illinois. Quaid one more time. Torres there, Drews, bump set to the back and yet hit wide left. 4-0 run for Illinois. (11-9), O'Brien still serving. And an ace! 5-0 run for Illinois.
O'Brien doing a really nice job getting a lot of float, and she's serving kind of into the traffic of the offense, really affecting how Utah wants to run their patterns.
Drews trying to end a 5-0 run, cannot do so. Quaid will happily send it back over. Kerber off the block. What a dig by Dorman. Drews. That is just
See, this is why
incredible effort.
You do yoga. The fact that, and she does, Dorman really so flexible as a defender, is able to get down and pop that ball up when really she has no business being that low.
That's unbelievable. Dorman serving now after saving the day, really. And she keeps that ball alive. Passed back over. But not enough on the Utah defense that time. Cooney scores the kill, and it's 13-10 Illinois.
Cooney absolutely blasting away at that block. Berkeley Oblad trying to put up some hands, but Cooney's too powerful and is able to just get right through into that seam.
The ladies from Champaign up 3, 13-10 in set 3. We're tied at 1 set apiece, and yet does not find any fingertips. Another hitting error for the Utes. The Illini back up 4. Cooper. Torres goes to Oblad. That was an unorthodox angle, but effective.
Well, exactly. You could see her having to contort her body. She saw the block that was in front of her. She also saw the spot on the floor she wanted to hit, whatever it takes.
Kerber to serve with Utah trailing by 3. It's Cooper, Quaid. And Quaid scores just a crafty point right there.
Terrific swing from Quaid, and Illinois in good control again in the middle of this 3rd set. Barely grabbing that line.
That is...
And I think to your point, Spencer, Utah is very aware of what happened in the last set, where they waited maybe a bit too long to try to come back. They really don't want Illinois to get too far ahead. Try to close that gap right now.
7 blocks for Utah, 6.5 for Illinois. Prince is dug by Dorman. Zoe Wetherington just find a seam, and that's exactly what she does.
I think everyone on the floor wonders where that ball went. How she hit that ball with absolutely no approach and is able to get power and get it to fall.
Drews off the tape. Prince. Dorman is there once again. Torres to Wetherington, and she pushes it off the block of Diana Brown. 3-0 Utah run, and now a timeout on the Illinois bench. So much for running away with things. in set 3, 15-14.
Are we going to run to really execute our game plan right now for this 1 point? And so that just shows the coaches are on it, and also the players are able to execute that game plan really well.
Wow, Quaid from the back line with authority.
Beautiful swing.
Yeah, it's one thing to clean it up, but then there's this.
Beautiful swing, nice and high. You can see her with good court vision as she's able to attack that end line.
17-14, nice response from Illinois out of the timeout. Weatherington off the block. Kept in wisely by Diana Brown. And now some jousting at the net, and it will fall on Illinois' side. Unorthodox point, but Utah will capitalize and take it.
And Weatherington, again, just a freshman and really showing a lot of poise and recognizing the only shot she has is to just use those hands. And it's worked for her. 3 big kills for Weatherington in this series.
8 kills for the match, and a service error gives a point back to Illinois. 18-15, 5th service error of the match for the Utes. The Illini have dished up 7 of their own service errors. Brown to Kerber, and a dump kill from Torres. We haven't seen many of those. That's the first from Utah.
Right, and because we haven't seen it, you can see the defense for Illinois way back on their heels. Not even close to being ready for that. And now it's established when she's in the front row, Torres is a viable option. That just makes the defense have to wait just enough to maybe be late to different spots on the floor.
Beth Prince off the Utah block for a side out. No. That is hit out by Prince off of the pin, and it's 18-17. And now Torres after that dump kill and a serve has served her team into a tie. She'll take the block up front from Weatherington and company, 18 all.
And as that was flying, look at the arms on Weatherington. Amazing. And you never want to reach outside. Like, she does so many things that you think, oh, gosh, she's so good, and she's just a freshman.
And there is the response from Megan Cooney. This time she beats Bree Dorman. 19-18 Illinois.
Well, and it's interesting that regardless of how we get there, where it's been different in every single set, at 2020, we're all tied up, and it's a battle, and it's a game to 5. And here we are again with these 2 teams tied up down the stretch. Who can consistently finish strong?
Welsh serves to Drews. Torres, Weatherington. Tied at 19.
And I'll just say this earlier. Remember how I said Weatherington just kind of slowly gets going, and clearly game 3, set 3, she has hit her stride and feeling good.
9 kills, 2 blocks for Weatherington. 19 all. Tip shot from Cooney is handled. Illinois will reload with Quaid.
Love that set from Brown. Pushing it all the way, end line, or sideline to sideline, pushes it all the way out, allowing a really high swing from Quaid above that block.
Morgan O'Brien serving with the 1-point Illinois lead, 20-19. Torres, cross-court set to Drews. Danny Drews.
Torres with almost the exact same set. Anytime you've got a setter pushed back on their heels, they really have to use a lot of that strength to get it all the way outside. Tremendous effort, both these setters setting a nice match.
Dorman. Quaid. Oh, and that ball finds the back line. She used about every millimeter of the court possible.
Brown again shooting that ball out. Not a lot of time. You can see Oblad late getting out there. There's no way she can get out there to close because they're running it so fast. That just comes down to serving. You got to get pressure on because Illinois, when they're in system, really tough to stop.
14 kills now for Jacqueline Quaid. That leads all players. Kerber asking for a touch, is not granted that from the officials. 22-20 Illinois.
Utah wondering if they might challenge. Either way, they might want to stop the momentum regardless. We'll get a good swing here. Kerber definitely wanted something. It looks like they got it if she wants to challenge.
Oh, and it does hit the fingertip. And
yeah.
Beth Lanier just looked at Kenzie Kerber and said, did she touch it? She said, I don't know. I don't know. Wow.
That, I think, oh, that should have been a challenge
that
for Utah.
one hurts. Cooper, Torres, and Oblad gets the side out.
Terrific job, Oblad. You see that set really low, actually too low to the 6th floor Oblad, but she's able to contort her body and get the kill regardless.
And now instead of 22-21 Utah, the Utes still trail by a point. Kerber serves to Cooper. Brown will set Quaid. Kerber with the dig there. Torres bump set. Drews!
See, as a player, I'm watching that set going, ah, shoot, that's just too tight, right? What are you going to do with that? Oh, Danny Drew says, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go up and hit over the top of these huge blockers and get the kill.
We talked about Zoe Wetherington getting going by set 3. Danny Drews has turned it on in set 3. She's now hitting .321 for the match after a slow start with a match-high 14 kills, tied with Illinois' returning All-American Jacqueline Quaid. For to serve out of the timeout, tied at 22, tied at 1 set apiece. Down to the wire in set 3. Diana Brown, oh! And the Illini out of a timeout. A rare, critical mistake. The double clutch out of necessity from Fleming, and Utah takes the lead. Brown, Quaid, Dorman with her 15th dig of the match. Drews off high head. She can't do that with Utah. (25-24). Danny Drews for Utah finding her groove in set number 3. 15 kills, 4 digs, 3 blocks, and an ace. She had that critical error that put it to 24-all here at the end of this 3rd set. But you got to think out of the timeout, it's probably her, isn't it, Amy?
I think Oblad's been good as well. And so it really comes down to nailing that pass for Utah.
Set point for Illinois, 25-24. Quaid to serve for a 2nd set. Goes to Kerber. And on the dig, Drews on the spot. Not the cleanest exchange by both teams there, but Danny Drews heads up play at the net, leaves no doubt.
Perfect job out of the timeout for Utah to get exactly what they needed.
25-all. From the back, the quick Bick strikes again.
So fast. That is what a Bick is. It's just that first tempo, and that's the best we've seen Illinois run it all night long. Nobody home for Utah defensively.
Jacqueline Quaid with her 15th kill, and another set point for the Illini, 26-25. Fleming serves to Kerber. Torres, Oblad. The Illini lead 2 sets to 1.
Wow, what? It's been tight all the way through, and we get to that 25 or 20-point mark, and it's just been so entertaining.
Opening point of the 4th set here. Torres to serve for Utah. The Utes trailing 2 sets to 1. They go to Quaid, and the first point of the 4th set, courtesy of Megan Cooney, 1-0 Illini.
Cooney with her 11th kill. She's hitting close to 400, has been kind of that quiet, solid player on both sides of the floor. Illinois has a power-packed offense that they're really utilizing well.
Serve from Welsh. Overpass, and that's an easy call in favor of Illinois.
Torres trying to save that ball, but just can't quite. Since she's back row, she gets called for being back row attacker.
2-0 Illini. Welsh to Kerber. Drews out of the back, pushes it left, and that's wide left. Not the start Utah was hoping for. They trail 3-0.
Welsh, the senior DS, doing a nice job putting the pressure on the passing lanes for Utah in this fourth set.
Welsh again to Kerber, another tough pass. But Torres does her job, and then Kerber makes up for it.
Torres doing all she can to reach and save that ball. Terrific set. And then Kerber on it fast. What a hammer.
Check that ball for air, decommission it.
I think she wanted to get out of that rotation.
And a nice response from Megan Cooney on the other side of the net. 4-1 Illini. And we like to bring in social media here, Amy. And this question in from @Illini_loyalty said, dumb question. I'm new to watching Illini volleyball, but if my team's just outside the top 25, why are they playing a ranked team in the first round?
That is a wonderful question. But so what happens in volleyball, different than basketball. Basketball is going to rank all 64 teams, and however you travel, that's just how it works. If you're from California and you have to play in New York, you're going to fly out there. For volleyball, it doesn't have the money for that, so it's just going to rank the top 16 as we get a good look at that swing from Danny Drews. Get the top 16, and then the rest of the 4 you kind of group by region. It is surprising that Illinois would fly all the way here. And as a point, wow, yeah, I agree. This is a first-round match that is epic and incredible and high level.
We don't draw it up, but we appreciate watching it, that is for sure. Drews, that's off the Illini block and then into the antenna, so it's 4-3, back-to-back big points for Danny Drews.
And after a slow start for Utah, being down 3-0, they've really worked hard to work their way back in this set.
And a service error from Dorman. 5-3 Illini. 7th service error of the match for Utah. That equals the 7 from Illinois. Taylor Cooper to serve for the Illini. To Yet. Oblad in the middle. Berkeley Oblad with a kill.
And everything about Oblad is she's just so cagey and smart. You can tell with every swing. Usually for middles, you know, you've got to get that perfect set because it's so fast, but Oblad has such court awareness that she can do a lot with a little.
Kerber. Cooper down to get that. And tooling the block beautifully, Ashlyn Fleming for a kill. 6-4 Illinois.
So great to watch Fleming work her way back into the lineup. Having that injury earlier in the season, it's just so hard to come back, but you make adjustments and you do what you can. Fleming's so good off 2 feet behind the setter.
He injured that left knee. One of the real emotional leaders of this team. Coach Thomas explains her as savvy. And you're seeing some of that right now. Speaking of savvy, it helps to have an All-American in Quaid working on the back line.
And that pick a little low, but like you said, when you've got that returning All-American, they can make adjustments. Quaid does a nice job to just barely get that over the net, and there's a lot of court.
7-4, make it 8-4 Illinois, an ace. This is danger territory for Utah. They've dropped 2 sets, hard-fought sets at that went into extra points, and now down 8-4 early in the 4th.
And to end the match, or the 3rd set, this was the rotation they were in where we saw Torres call her own number and dump the ball.
Oblad. She's had the answer twice here early in set 4.
And you look at that work, the pass took Torres all the way to the antenna, but as a good middle should, you watch Oblad is gonna follow her and come to her, and that opens up the court because obviously the middle blocker can't follow her that whole way.
What a play by Dorman to be there and cover. And a great defensive effort from Kerber and Dorman again to keep the ball up. from the back. No answer for Quaid. Jacqueline Quaid, 17 kills.
And that quick pick again, you see the defense for Utah doing a great job to kind of keep that play, but they're on the defensive. And so Illinois just has another chance to reset. It's a free ball. They can run their offense.
Fleming serves Dorman. Drews from the back line. That's off the tape and handled by Quaid. And then hit long by Beth Prince. Side out to Utah.
Utah really wants to settle in and get a point here to not continue to be just 3 points down. They want to tie it up with some good effort. Oblad is a good serve, usually a lot of float.
Overpass and the block from Diana Brown on Wetherington. There's those crafty setters at the net.
And that's really all Brown could do, was just kind of pivot around and try to block it. She gets lucky and extends that lead to 4.
10-6, set 4. Wetherington able to unleash on that ball and find a little bit of a gap through that Illini block.
And we really saw Wetherington kind of get going at the end of the third set, but then she rotated out. And so this is the first time we've seen her in the front row in the fourth set. Can she continue that dominant effort there on the outside?
That's hit wide right. Dorman was covering if it was in. Back-to-back big points for Utah, make it 10-8. Will this set come down to anything but extra points?
Exactly.
We should plan on that.
Assumed we were going
Yes.
5
Yeah.
from the beginning.
And there is a third consecutive point. Kennedy Collins, along with me, looking to see if any of the officials were going to give fingertip touch. They do not. And that's an error on Collins, 10-9. Again, a hitting error, 4-0 run for Utah, and largely because Illinois can't keep it in play.
And we haven't seen that the entire match. This is the first time we've seen Illinois compound those hitting errors.
10-10, we'll take a timeout. Utah and rendered 4 straight points primarily due to hitting errors. And the Illini trying to side out. They cannot do so here. Check that. They will do so here. And Coach Thomas was raising his arms like, tell me there's something there, and he got the call.
Well, I think everyone in the gym saw when you see the dig come off the arms and it's already spinning, you almost said, no, don't get your hands out on that one. It's just too difficult to make it clean.
11-10. Welsh to serve. Wetherington. And the freshman for Utah playing some big points here and delivering.
Here we are tied, and Wetherington, a player that is just as good on the right side as she is on the outside.
Quaid gets it right back from Diana Brown. Utah defense there. Drews off the block, and she scores. Utah back in front, 12-11.
Beautiful swing from Drews, so smart. That's going to be a kill everywhere you go. You just use those high hands and expand the court. There's no defender back there. Such a smart play.
Diana Brown, the back set, another dig by Dorman. And Drews, she gives an error back and a side out to the Illini, tied at 12.
Dorman again in great position, popping that ball up, straight up. Surprising that Torres didn't take that ball. I think Kerber kind of stepped in there.
Morgan O'Brien serving. There's the Illini block. The kick save is hit wildly underneath the net to the Illini side, and that makes it 13-12 Illinois halfway through the fourth set. Morgan O'Brien again to serve. Received by Yetz. Drews, no problems there. Danny Drews now with 20 kills, a match high.
This rotation right here for Utah, one of their biggest scoring rotations with Dorman serving. You've got Kerber and Drews in the front row with Oblad, so a power-packed offense.
Tip shot is handled from Cooney. Kerber there. Drews is stuffed on the outside. Fleming and Cooney there defensively.
And we didn't see much from the Illinois block in the third set, but this fourth set, it has come on strong, getting over there, closing down, taking away a ton of court.
11th block of the match for Illinois to Utah's 8, and the Illini back in front by 1, 14-13. Taylor Cooper to serve. Dorman there. Oblad. Good scramble by Welsh. Quaid, tip shot doesn't work. Another tip shot from Drews. Illinois will reset with Quaid. That ball is playable, and there is the fourth hit from Kerber. Illinois overpowering Utah just enough right there. They lead 15-13.
Some big blocks at the net. We see some great defensive effort, kind of popping the ball up, trying to play it off. But Illinois, like you said, that block so powerful, has been a wall in this fourth set.
Cooper to serve with a 15-13 lead in the fourth set. And an ace! Timeout, Utah. Boy, just a breakdown right there from the Utes. As yet received no, now the timeout. And I saw the Utah bench signal for a stoppage, and we will take it. 16-13, the Illini are 9 points away from an upset in the first round. We've got NCAA tournament volleyball coverage happening right now. 16-13 Illinois. Make it 16-14. Big side out for Kenzie Kerber. And she's been quiet. She was so strong in that opening set and even through set 2, but it'd be big for the Utes to have her come on here.
Well, because I think that point especially was important. You could kind of feel some momentum shift. And maybe, wow.
Well, that'll steal the momentum right back.
Well, and I think Illinois was really starting to take control, and almost a little letdown on the Utah side where we hadn't seen it in the first 3 sets. Even though they were only down 3, you kind of sense a little bit of, I don't know, futility, but maybe it's just because that block from Illinois is so frustrating to get blocked. It just takes a lot out of you. And Utah's got to come right back here and try to stay on the roller coaster and wait till it's their turn.
And Utah hanging tough there. A fourth touch from the Illini, applauded by Coach Thomas. They just do not quit. Either side, for that matter, Amy. Both of these teams are just so tough, mentally tough, gritty, and battle-tested.
Well, and I think whoever ends up winning, whoever they play in the second, watch out, because
Oblad
they're ready.
With a big block on the dump attempt, and there wasn't really much there other to do for Diana Brown.
Right, and credit Oblad. I mean, when you are a middle, the setter is not your primary responsibility, and so you want to stick with your middles, but Oblad in good position.
18-16, Illinois. Beth Prince through the Utah block.
Beth Prince, another player who was injured early in the season. So hard for them to lose her, and as they can work her back into the offense any way possible, she's just a great asset to this team.
Fleming with a service error. 18-17. And as projected, we are headed to another tight set here in the fourth.
Yep. Look at us tied at the 20-point mark almost. These
Oblad
two teams in good position.
off the tape. Oh, and now we're tied at 18. Frustrating point there for Coach Thomas in Illinois. Utah will take that to the bank. And Oblad now serving with Utah, intending to take the lead back. Prince stabbed at by Kerber. There's Drews. Oblad from the back line. Berkeley Oblad out of system, no problem.
Yeah, give it to the middle blocker. Who else would be hitting out of the back row?
Utah leads 19-18 in a must-win format to go to a decisive fifth set. Wow.
What a shot from Oblad. Look at that poise, just stepping in, taking control, getting that kill at the right time. How important she has been to this team. As a senior, missed last year, is out with an injury, and has come back again to help her team.
The Utah faithful collectively letting their approval being heard, or be heard rather, as they take the lead back 19-18. Sets 2 and 3 went to extras. No reason to believe that set 4 won't do the same. Utah back in front.
I think what's interesting in both these teams is that they don't have specific rotations. I think you mentioned it earlier, Spencer, where they're really, really bad and they don't have a lot of offense. And so it doesn't seem to matter which rotation they end up in at the end of sets, because you've got all these players, so much offense on all areas of the floor. You know, as we look here, as we get to the end of the fourth set, you're kind of looking at the personnel and who's in the front row, who's playing well. I think it doesn't matter. They've all been executing at a high level regardless of where they are.
Out of the timeout, 19-18. Oblad has been the hero for the Utes here in set 4, and she's serving with the 1-point advantage. There's the block from her teammates. With the big middle blocker on the service line, Phoebe Grace and Torres coming up big.
Grace and Torres with the good read on the Bic. It's a great time for that block to step up on that play.
Oblad with a dig. Seriously, she has done it all in set 4. Diana Brown. There's a dig by Kerber. Drews. Oblad. Oh, just a little ambitious there.
That one actually, if that had gone in, would be amazing. You could see how difficult it was, that set. She's spinning, it's behind her as we get a good look at the first dig from Oblad, lays it out, and then just can't quite finish it off. A terrific run from Utah, and once again, we're really close at the end of a set.
There's an overpass. Torres jousting for it. Drews from the 3-meter line. To watch the opposing Bic attack from these two teams has been one of many incredible matchups.
Right, it's so fun. It's like a men's game. You've got that power all over the court from the back row.
21-19, Torres serving with a 2-point lead for Utah. O'Brien sends it over to Cooney with a big kill, and the Illini respond. 21-20. Caroline Welsh back in to serve for Illinois. Goes to Drews. Torres, quick set in the middle. Phoebe Grace coming in and making some big plays late in set 4, had the block and now the kill.
Well, and I think Torres has done an excellent job. You see a great set there, nice and high, making adjustments, locating the ball well, moving the ball around, getting it to every player on the floor.
Yet, that's off the soft block. Collins not able to score, and Kerber hits it wide left. Point to Illinois. 22-21, Utah in front in set 4. They trail 2-1. Illinois 1 sets 2 and 3 in extra points. Utah must win here to force a 5th set. Morgan O'Brien serving. Kerber is blocked. Torres, free ball back to the Illini, and they pay it off. Ashlyn Fleming.
Illinois in control from the beginning of that point. They were able to really move the ball around well, and Fleming.
Torres to Drews, tip shot. Oh, what a play by Danny Drews. Just cleverly touching that ball so subtly off the block to tie it at 23.
Just clutch from Drews, just a nice touch on that ball.
Bree Dorman. Block and a solo by goodness.
Berkeley Oblad again, great position. Look at her eye work, her arms as she takes away that cross-court shot.
Dorman serving to push this to a 5th set, 24-23. Dig by Yet, Torres, Drews, and the Illini are there defensively. Is that left? It is! We will play a 5th set.
Unbelievable effort, and you just look inches, and that is what has defined this match. It's just come down to inches and 1 point here and there for these two incredible teams battling it out.
2 hours, 21 minutes into the match. 2 sets apiece. We will take a break. Utah wins their 2nd set of the match.
Emotionally exhausting. It's hard to maintain that high level for, what, 2.5 hours. And so this 5th set is going to be fast and quick, and it, like the first 4, is going to come down to maybe 1 run. That's it, 1 run of points. If you can not only side out, but then turn around and get a point, that could be it. And NCAAs, there's so much at stake. It's win or go home. And these two teams are playing for their postseason lives right now.
The beauty and the pain of the bracket.
How great to be a fan there.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Caroline Welsh to open up the 1st to 15, 5th set in Provo, Utah. Drews receives. Torres to Kerber. Off the Illinois block. Weatherington. She's done that a couple of times off the net and finds another seam.
Right, through a double block that's well lined up in front of her. Just uses that really strong wrist snap. Gets to go right down the front.
Yet to serve. Utah scoring the 1st point here in the decisive 5th. Cooney blocked. Phoebe Grayson Drews on the left side of the net.
So much emotion already early in this set. You can look at each player knows how important every single point is.
Quaid will get it back. Tip shot. Oh, that ball is alive, and they're going to call a lift on Kerber for Utah. It didn't hit the antenna, and Utah was complaining that no, that ball's in play, but the lift is called.
Right, you can look at Kerber, and all she can do is reach out and kind of saves it with an open hand, and yeah, can't do that.
2-1 Utah. Morgan O'Brien serves to the Utah side. Drews with the left hand. Bump set. Oh, and a beauty, but it's hit long by Quaid.
It was a really, really good bump set, giving her a lot of space, nice and high, and just missed from Quaid.
She won't miss that type of set often. Oh, but they do give the point to Illinois.
Got the touch.
So she did get the touch, so we're 2-2. Never mind. Danny Drews answers right back for Utah, but I was with you, Amy.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was a Utah point. There was a touch. Okay.
She doesn't miss it ever, would be the...
Our apologies for the heart palpitations that we unnecessarily caused on both sides with that miscommunication. Nice dig by Torres on Cooney. Dorman. Kerber forced to set it back over. Free ball to the Illini. Quaid. And now a challenge will be issued. It looked like she got a little bit of a touch.
Well,
from our
Quaid,
perspective,
right?
it's right in front. Yeah, I'm not going to challenge it anymore. Let's see. I don't know.
It didn't look like it from my perspective, but because there's no fingers, and you could see.
Does it hit
Kerber? Yeah, would
the
have to.
wrist on the right side of Kerber?
That's going to be a tough one. Settle in. This is going to be like 10 minutes while we watch.
It's a good time to point out the incredible camera work from our BYU TV Sports crew, who work such long hours, appear early, stay late, and they do it with a smile on their face. It's hard not to enjoy this type of match, however. Utah was awarded the point. I don't see anything in the reviews overturn it. Now, with my live eye, I was with the up official. I thought that that had a funky bounce.
Take her out of her approach, but as we've said before, you take one player out. Illinois has 5 more just waiting to go.
Taylor Cooper with the Illini trailing by 1 in the 5th set, 4-3. Torres to Drews, a great set. The Illini will pay that off in response. Ashlyn Fleming with a kill. Diana Brown going right back to Fleming from a short distance, and we're tied at 4. The tension is real, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Oh, and a service error gives Utah an important side out. That ball floating just a little bit too much on Illinois setter Diana Brown to make it 5-4. Kerber. Here's to Cooper. Brown back to Quaid. She'll cover the block. Brown one more time to Quaid, and she works a great angle off the dig attempt of Dorman. 5-5.
You can see Dorman's face, so frustrated. She felt like she had that ball, but terrific angles from Illinois to keep themselves in this set. They're siding out so tough, and then they have that opportunity to attack from the service line.
5-5, Quaid to serve. Goes to Yet. Torres. Drews! Danny Drews gives Utah the lead back 6-5.
That set's quick all the way outside. Because she's left-handed, it has to pass her body before she swings at the ball, allowing her a little more time to kind of use that block.
Tough serve. Utah block there with Oblad and Torres. That is hit down the line, but wide left. Back-to-back points for Utah, 7-5. Will switch sides once one team gets to 8.
Prince recognizing that ball was tight. She's trying to go for hands and then just misses.
Drews serving up 7-5 from the back line. A quick pick not as effective, however, free ball back to the Illini. In the quick set, Drews is there for a dig. Torres, Drews! I'll show you a Bic. 8-5 Utah.
Teams trading back row attacks, and what a shot from Danny Drews. Tattooing that back line couldn't have been better.
Gut check time for the Illini, trailing by 3 in set number 5. Utah staved off.
Illinois right now, they're in the 2-hitter situation with the front row setter. But look for Quaid out of the back row.
Oh, and an ace! Ashlyn Fleming breathing life into the Illini side. 8-7.
Coach said she was clutch. Can't get much more than that.
Fleming, oh, not clutch this time.
I'll take
Service error. 10th of the match for Illinois. Utah with 7. The Illini do have 7 service aces to Utah's 4.
I think you've got to serve tough. Both these teams have got to keep the pressure on, even though it's tight.
9-7. What a swing from Quaid. The quick pick is beautiful.
It is, and they run it. Quaid runs it better than anyone in the country. That is the best you're going to see in the women's game, and it is beautiful.
9-8. Diana Brown to Drews. Torres, cross-court set. Weatherington, there is the block for the Illini. Weatherington going to line it up one more time. Off hands. Illini trying to tie it up. Tip shot. Dig by Kerber. Weatherington. Wow, that ball is playable off that part of the roof. Dorman with the dig. Torres, Drews out of the back. Another dig by the Illini. Morgan O'Brien bump set, and Prince is handled. Dump attempt. Advantage Utah. What a point. What a rally.
How How fun is this game? Awesome. Incredible effort, and Torres calling her own number here. The great defensive effort to finish it off, but Utah coming out on top, and that was a big time point.
Timeout, Illinois and Coach Thomas. 10-8 Utah. They led 8-5. We switch sides of the floor. The Illini, not surprisingly, making it very hard on Utah. Who's into the net. Okay, point to Utah, and it's 11-8.
It's the first unforced error we've seen as a net call on the Illinois side.
Oh, killer. Torres to Quaid. Diana Brown. Wow! Kennedy Collins emphatically sends down a kill. 11-9.
What a swing from the 6'3" freshman. Exclamation point, getting that ball back there within 2.
Couple of big-time freshmen, Collins and Weatherington, on both sides of this match. Welsh to serve. Torres to Weatherington, and Utah's freshman answers back.
And if that play was drawn up, it would go the same way every time. Every time Utah needs a side out in that rotation, and Weatherington is back there. She gets the ball, she gets the kill.
Torres with another assist. She's got 56. Ace! Megan Yett, Utah 2 points away.
That one.
Yett up 13-9 in serving. Quaid. The block is there for Utah. Free ball back to the Utes. Dorman. Torres looking for assist number 57. And she's got it to Danny Drews for another kill. It is match point for the Utes, 14-9.
Megan yet again serving so tough. And Utah coming up with some big plays to finish off this set.
Brown to Quaid. The Illini fight on for at least one more point. 14-10. Morgan O'Brien serving to try and extend Illinois' season. Dorman receives. Torres. Kerber off the block. Welsh. Quaid. Torres defending down the line. Dorman to Drews. Utah advances into the second round after a 5-set thriller.
And what an effort for this first round of